Next day, so I let this drain overnight. I usually wake up about 4, so end up dumping. There's only about probably 1.5 litres of that 30 weight. So I just dumped it into this, gave it a spin by hand, just trying to stir it up a bit. I don't know if it really did anything, and just let it drain out. Doesn't look like there was any metal coming out, so at least that's one good sign. So yeah, I'll put some oil in. I'll change this filter. Got that new filter there. So it's 90% back together. I'm gonna check that air gap, make sure it's right. I'll check the spark plug gap again, and I dropped the bolt out just to make sure there's no gunk in the fuel bowl. Like I said yesterday, I've cleaned most of these connectors. I actually did wonder if maybe I should run around and try and tape them up a bit or something. I don't know. Or backfill them with hot glue. Don't know. They really need something to keep all that dirt and crud out, because I can't imagine that'd be helping much. You know, probably earthing out a bit or something. What else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's just oil, filter, check those gaps, and should be able to start it. I don't even know if this will fit it. But... no, not quite. So I've had that forever and a day. Can't even remember where I got it from, but used it for the Falcon. McCluger's got like a special cup socket type bloody filter housing on it. It's funny, like I've had this happen on a drill rig. It had a Cummins motor in it. When we used to service them every 250 hours. Like you do the filters up hand tight, and when you go to do the next service, like the filters are tighten themselves up. I don't know if anybody else has had that issue or experience before, but I can't even remember. I know it was a Cummins signature. Right, I don't know what model and I'll just put a smear of that O-ring grease, because I haven't busted open that big drum yet. This is a filter number if anybody's interested. $25 Australian. Fucking, it used to be like 15 when I first bought the mower. Should I get that quick? Need to get some more degrees today, because I'll probably get this up and running, give it a heat cycle, and once it's cooling down, pull that deck off, pull that belly plate off, and replace those two spindles, pulleys. I've also got the steering gear. Those two gears, steering sector and the bevel and pinion gear to do. Those two pulleys, drive pulleys up underneath. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got that brake for the deck, but it's no use putting that onto that other bracket of Raws whenever, hopefully next week. I had to reorder it the second. Well, this will be the third time I've ordered it. I'm not quite sure what I keep messing the order up, but anyway. So I usually, these take 1.7 litres of oil. I do know there was one motor, the dipstick was cut wrong, marked wrong. I think it was supposed to be 1.8 litres, but it was actually marking at 2.2 litres or something. So these Intellipowers take about 1.7. So what I usually do is I'll put a 1.5 litres in to start with, and then run it, and then just top it up as you need to. So that was 400 mil, so I'll top up to 1.7 once she's run for a bit, putting that all around and everything. Check the air gap and the spark plug gap now. To do the air gap on the coil, so it's sort of between 25 and 30. 0.25 and 0.35 millimeter. So I split the difference and gone for 0.30. So what you do, there's two bolts basically. So there's a 10 mil and a 12 mil. So you rotate your, so there's a magnet. I don't know if you can see it. So this is a magnet. See how the other sides aren't magnetised? So there's a magnet there. Some have two, most of them only have one on the flywheel. So what you do is sort of, you situate it between, I'll show you this a bit better. So you get your feeler gauge. You sort of get that magnet sitting in between the two coil posts, and then put your feeler gauge in, loosen your bolts off, and that'll magnetise, you know, that'll suck into the magnet. And that's, then you tighten your bolts, and that's your air gap set. Most mowers are the same one. Briggs Stratton's is the same. I'm pretty sure it was, you know, like a business card thickness. So I used to have a stack of old business cards and slip it in, line your magnet up, slip your card in, undo your bolts, let it suck in, tighten your bolts, and that was your air gap set. Same thing, sometimes you'll have to rotate it away so you can actually get the feeler gauge in. It's actually quite a narrow gap there. I can't even get that one in. So I'll just rotate it away from the magnet, loosen these two bolts off. There, 10 mil on the bolt, 12 mil on the pedestal. That's where your engine cover shroud bolts onto. So just get it loose. You don't want it flopping around. You want it so you can move it. Just pop it back a bit. If you have the same issue like I just had with the gap being too small. Maybe just hear the budgies going off. They're going off. And slide it in. And hold your feeler gauge and just rotate it around till the magnets, like I said, in between the two posts. Most of the time it'll suck in, sometimes you'll just have to push it in till it's snug. And just nip it up a bit. Don't go swinging off it because it's only going steel into alloy. and that's the air gap set. So a slight little bit of drag is what you want. So 0.60 to 0.80, sort of what's in my owner's manual. So I've just sort of, same again, split the difference, going for 0.70. Want something a bit harder than wood apparently. You can buy a special tool to bend your electrode back a little bit more. Same thing, you just want it, you know, sort of what's the word, like you want a little bit of drag, you don't want it too tight. So that's pretty spot on. Just had to nip that end up a little bit. This is personal preference, you can do what you want, you don't have to do what I'm doing. But I always just put a little smear of anti-seize on the threads, not a lot. Because same thing, you go and steel into an alloy head, you know, you don't want to start causing issues down the track. You don't have to, there's no, it's not gospel, you know, the same as people fill oil filters. I don't fill them, you know. On my cars, I might, you know, if they're vertically mounted, I may throw half fill the oil filter up, but you know, I just usually send it because it literally takes like 2 seconds for the bloody filter to fill up. You know, it's not like you're operating an engine without oil in it. There's oil in the sump, there's oil still floating around, but you know, people swear black and blue, but it's really up to you. Whatever you know, however you've been taught, that's fine. I used to fill them non-stop, and then, you know, as filters became more side mounted or angle mounted, I just, you know, like the one on my Ford's on an angle. You know, you could probably 1/3 fill it before it starts spilling out everywhere. Just nip it up a bit, let the spark plug up a bit, and that's done. Well, I guess we can give it a go and see what happens. If she smokes, she smokes. I've still got to go. I've got to go over town this morning. The youngest one stayed home. There's a bit of a, it's not, yeah, tummy bug, but it's more like body aches and just malaise, really. All right, well, we'll give this a start and see what happens, eh? What do you reckon? She smokes? I reckon she's going to smoke. I have no doubt in my mind that this thing will smoke. smoking a little bit, but I don't know if that's all that oil burning off that was in the muffler and the exhaust pipe. It's hard to say. Yeah, I'd say the rings and shit are gone. Really hopeful there for a little minute, but yeah, it's hard to say. What I'll do is I'll let it cool down. Let it cool right down. I'll check the valves and shit. The valve clearances. Tighten that exhaust back up because I've only just nipped it up. There's a lot of oil burning off in that muffler and the exhaust pipe, so it's kind of hard to tell. Just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah, like even I don't know if you can see it. There's oil just there on top of the exhaust. I'd say that oil scraper ring's fucked myself. Bit of a bummer. Was kind of expecting it to, but I was hoping maybe, just maybe, tightening those valves up and stuff would have helped, but here we are. Next plan, I'm probably just going to run it as is. Like I've already lost a week of work basically. Just keep topping the oil up, keep swapping out spark plugs. Tax time's in a few weeks, so we'll probably look at doing a engine swap. Get that in, get that sorted, because I'm going to have to buy throttle cable and all that sort of stuff. Well, what I'll do, I'll seriously look at that one I found the other day. It's a complete conversion kit for this, to get away from Intellipower. It's got the harness, it's got the modified drag link, because it's a Briggs & I can't remember if it's V, it's twin cylinder. I think it might be. So it's wider. Wiring harness, the engine, the throttle cable setup. I'll put a link up. Somebody might be interested. Because yeah, I've pretty well had it with this engine. I've had nothing but issues with the mower in general since about 60 hours. It's just always been something, which kind of sucks because I paid near on $4,000 for this thing, and it's supposed to make my life easier mowing all this shit. And I've probably I've probably spent $1,000 all up already over the last 4 years fixing things. Well, I just did all the spindles, new blades, it's just one thing after another. I had to replace this because it was playing up and snapped off. That plays up. So you can't actually engage the blades until you press that, which this is only so you can mow in reverse. You shouldn't have to switch that on so you can actually engage the blade with the PDO. But if you don't do it that way, the mower stalls out. Had to replace the seat switch. Yeah, seat switch, that, spindles, pulleys. Well, there was a pulley kit, that one. On my third deck belt, I think my second drive belt. What else? All the engine stuff I've just done. Like, it's a nice looking mower, but I don't recommend these to anybody. Maybe if because I think these come with a Kawasaki twin cylinder here in Australia. I don't know if we get the Kohler engines, but I know we get this piece of shit and the twin cylinder Kawasaki, I'm pretty sure, engine as options. But yeah, I don't recommend these to anybody. All the issues with the deck, like how many times I've had to weld that up. And even under warranty, like when the deck cracked, I took it, and the engine, when the engine first started smoking, it was still under warranty. Took it in, got them to look at it. No, lack of maintenance. I'm like, I've always gotten the parts through that dealer every 25 hours. I said, how can it be a lack of maintenance? Because I've got like an account there. They can go back, and I've always told them the hours. They reckon lack of maintenance is why the ball was scored. I'm like, it's not. I've always maintained this thing, And it's just, I'm whinging now, but fuck me. Oh well, I'll let that cool down. Come back, drop that deck off again, put these new pulleys on. Got these two pulleys. Although I might wait till that bracket comes in. That way I've only got the deck off once and not having to do it twice. But I did have what's that one? Yeah, so I've replaced the drive belt. Well, maybe I'll do that because we're going to have to replace this. Deck belt part number if anybody's after it. See if I can show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Well, there's still a bit of a V on there, so I don't know why it was coming off. That's weird. Unless one of the pulleys is seized or something, but it's looking It's probably lost about 2-3 mil off the V itself. And this is a where am I? So this belt wasn't a genuine Cub MTD belt. I actually got it from a bearing and like belt supply place. Because at the arse end of COVID, you couldn't get parts of these things at all in Australia. So that'll be going on 4 years old. First belt snapped the very first time I tried to mow. So maybe it's just stretched and that's why it's coming off. Don't know what to do. I've got these few jobs to do over town. I've got to let that cool down before I can check that valve gap. So maybe I'll let it cool down, do these jobs, drop that deck off, do the pulleys. I may as well do that deck belt while I'm there. See if it'll smoke again. See, before I used to be able to just start it without sitting on it. Yeah, it doesn't even start. Scratch that, I'm a dumbass. I had the PDA still engaged. That bit of a misfire. Yeah, so I will. Just got a few jobs to do in the house over town. Nice and windy, so this thing should cool off pretty quick. When I get back, we'll adjust, well, check the valve clearance. I'll check that spark plug again, make sure it's not oiled up. I'm hoping, really hoping, it's just all that oil burning off the exhaust tube and out of the muffler box, but I don't think it is. I'd say the scraper ring's gone in it. So yeah, anyway, I'll put this up for now. I'll see how I go today, whether I can get, I'll probably at least get that looked at today. That might be a tomorrow job. Put in the new belt and those pulleys on. We will see how I go, because I am starting to get pretty over this damn thing. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.